Hello and welcome back to another whiskay podcast. A special one, but not a special edition. This is the 50th regular podcast of ours. So that's
Still
50
alive.
times we've bought whiskies on our subscription to the Dram team. So
300.
cheers, Chris. You should probably give us some money back or something. I don't know. We're also in our time caught up. Videos aren't, but this is us. We for the first time have gotten through our backlog, so we have no. Well, we have a box due in about a week, but we have no pending boxes sitting by. And to celebrate our 50th, as I was steal a joke from my esteemed co-host, we're going to drink some whiskey.
Yeah.
So
mix it up a bit.
Rather fittingly, since it's primarily historically we started this with a joint enjoyment of Scotch whisky. This is the Scotch Spectacular. And in this box, we enjoy an unusual selection of 6 drams demonstrating an exciting variety of Scotches available for enthusiasts to explore. Well-aged independent bottlings from famous distilleries, a small batch limited edition from a little-known gem, an anonymous Speyside, a beautifully smooth blended malt, and an absolutely sumptuous sherry bomb. This box has it all. Raise your glass to these spectacular Scotches. Slanger.
So, glass to 50 episodes.
Raise your glass to 50 episodes. Also Slanger.
Yeah, also Slanger. Yep. I mean, what do you reckon? Like, if this, bear with me in this line of topic, because I know I'm still sober. I ain't got drunk yet, so this is probably a bad sign. But how many hits do you reckon an average drug dealer sells to a client, customer, whatever?
Depends on the drugs, I suppose.
It does. Let's go for some of the less harsh ones. Not weed, because that's not a real.
Yeah, I think David. I think hundreds of thousands is probably.
Yeah, like cocaine.
Probably. Well, not to get too into drugs, but imagine in every time they sell like an amount which equates to probably about 10 hits on average, probably.
Yeah.
They probably sell to the same person 10 times, 100, something like that.
Yeah.
Before they have to move on. I don't imagine I'm not saying they move on from the job, but I think in general a lot of people in that industry don't like to stay connected to any one person for too long, just in case.
Yeah, probably not. So potentially we could.
We could be very wrong here. It could be that there's people out there who sell 1,000 goes.
Yeah, we might be.
All the time.
I think it shows our naivete when it comes to
hard
non-alcohol
drugs. Yeah,
which is good because that means we won't get arrested. But I was just thinking, this is our 300th, up to our 300th hit from our dealer. So I just wondered if it put him in those leagues.
I mean, it's probably the 306th or maybe the 312th. I don't know how many special edition boxes there's been.
Fair point.
There definitely was the silver edition, which if you want to bring any more of them out, we're in the market for spending our cash. I got these cheeseburgers, man. That's a wee reference for anyone who's seen. I think it's Don't Be a Menace. But begging for an extra hit.
Starting as we mean to go on with a tangent.
Yeah.
About something we have no concept of.
Yeah, I'm willing to go into this if you want.
Yeah, back on track?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be persuaded.
Okay, so the first whiskey in the box is the Whiskey Row Smooth and Sweet. And
after us.
Yeah, and on the bottle there is the Scottish Football Association badge for some reason. So I'm guessing this is a special edition, so we'll see what it says.
Yeah, maybe.
But Leith was once the beating heart of Edinburgh's whisky district. I mean, Leithers would tell you Leith isn't Edinburgh, it's Leith, but we'll ignore that. With its 100 warehouses boasting the world's largest stock of whiskey, But when the industry and port declined, at least many whiskey-inspired street names vanished. Whiskey Row aims to right that wrong, resurrecting exquisite flavours from a bygone era. The range covers a spectrum of Scotch whisky flavours, and here we enjoy smooth and sweet, a marriage of flavourful Highland single malts producing a classically sweet and fruity experience. So it doesn't mention anything about the fact that there's a Scottish Football Association badge on the front. But
Maybe there's a ground on what was Whiskey Row.
maybe I'll Google it once we've moved through the next section. There's not a nosing for this.
Okay.
So you can nose if you want, and we'll just have a quick.
It's quite sweet, quite.
It is a
cereal.
blend, so they tend to. Not that there's anything wrong with blends, but a lot of blends don't go in for the nosing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you've got a mate who's getting his bells or whatever in his nose in it.
Yeah.
Probably get him checked out.
Yeah, Rob. But.
Yeah.
It's cereally.
Yeah, sweet cereal.
It's got that like maybe a little bit like Granny Smith's.
Yeah. Orchard fruits.
Yeah. Very particularly tart ones though.
Tart orchard fruits.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Okay. Let's see what the flavour is.
Okay, I'm going in.
So tasting notes. This blended malt is creamy, sweet, and waxy in character. The experience: caramel, vanilla, baked apple, soft spiced oak, and a smooth toasty finish. So basically, it's an apple pie.
Yeah, I get what they mean by waxy, because it's almost like got a layer between the flavours in your palate.
I will change it. It's like an apple, like strudel, because of the vanilla and such. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could put vanilla in an apple pie, but yeah, strudel. Yeah, with a bit of wood in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you probably accidentally cooked in part of your table there. But
happens all the time.
Yeah.
Cooked it on a wooden chopping board in your oven.
Like when you come home drunk and put an oven pizza in and leave the cardboard on the bottom.
Mm.
My uncle did that once when me and my cousin were like, I was 14, he was 13, and we were staying over, but we were getting to stay. You know, he went out and we were allowed to stay in on our own. And we just played Final Fantasy 8. And actually, we didn't even play Final Fantasy 8. We played Blitzball for
10.
Oh, 10. It would have been 10. No, yeah, it must have been 10 then, which implies I wasn't 14. Maybe
Yeah,
it was,
that's like
maybe I'm
6 or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe I'm mixing up the times. But yeah, he came in and was like, "Do you want a pizza?" And we were like, you know, teenage boys growing. We're like, "Absolutely, yes, we will eat a pizza." And then 10 minutes later, he came through, the most crestfallen person I've ever seen. He's like, "I'm really sorry, boys. I've cooked the plastic base onto the pizza. I can do you some toast." And we were like, "Honestly, it's fine." He's like, No, I'll get you some toast." So he didn't burn the toast. That was good.
No wrong with toast.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to eat the toast, but we weren't planning on eating it.
It is a downgrade
in the morning.
Yeah. I had a nice pizza yesterday, actually.
I've had far too many nice pizzas recently.
Yeah, I went to Newport Market with a mutual acquaintance. And had the pizza there. I had pepperoni and peppers. It was a bit too spicy for me because it had jalapenos on it.
Was it? What sort of crust was it? Was it like
thin,
fully thin, even the edge?
Yeah. Okay.
Just because I'm a pizza snob, so I only really like it if it's either fully thin, like to the edge, like Roman style, or if it's like sourdough puffy crust.
So it was
really
sourdough.
Thin in the middle.
It was a sourdough one, but it was sourdough thin.
Okay, because like a Neapolitan style or Napoli, if you're British, English, American, whatever, they do it with the sourdough with the puffy crust, which is so it's one or the other for me. And then now I've discovered that I'm a cretin and a hypocrite, and I actually also like Chicago deep dish, but we don't talk about that.
If you like what you like. I barely ever eat pizza, so I'm not going to judge you. Did you want to do some tasting notes? By
something you shouldn't really eat because it's all the bad things. But yeah, I will give some tasting notes. It was very creamy.
I've put slight waxiness, sweet apples and vanilla with like a toasty, woody finish.
Yeah, I'd also like to apologise. I think it is a blended malt.
It is.
Not a blend.
Yeah, not a blend, a blended
Yeah.
malt. So it's a mixture of single malts rather than
Yeah.
there's
With
no
a
grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I don't know if
It's
I'm
really
getting the wood
nice.
notes, but
Yeah,
vanilla is definitely in there, and the caramel.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to hit those two tasting notes of smooth and sweet, they've hit them.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's almost not quite, but it's almost single grain sweet. That kind of sweet vanilla.
Yeah. It does,
not
which
quite.
is weird because it didn't have a grain in it, but yeah, it's very. Oh, the oakiness is there actually if you leave it for a minute.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
after in the finish, it's got the woodiness.
Yeah. Toasty / woodiness. That's what I got in the finish.
I think the bottle on the picture is just a special edition.
Oh, right, okay, you're looking it up.
Yeah. But yeah,
Should start using my little Glencairn jug during these. I could use it to pour into my glass.
Yeah, I want to get something like that. I just tend to use
I'm just pouring it for a glass in there and just spilling it on my pants all the time. There's an American word for pants. I'm not sat here in my underwear. Sorry, I don't know why I used American words for trousers there. You know what I mean? I had to quickly reverse there. I don't do this in my.
Some parts in England do say pants instead of trousers.
Well, I don't. I don't know why that
Northeast.
was what I said, but
Yeah.
yes. So on my trousers, because I dress formally for these.
So there is a Scottish national team edition for each of the 3 Whiskey Row main ones.
Oh.
It's the 150th anniversary of the Scottish Football Association, and this recently was the 150th anniversary of the first ever international football game between Scotland and England. England did win. We'll not talk about that anymore.
It's not as common nowadays as it used to be.
Well, it is against Scotland. It's been a win-draw. So two wins for Scotland in there.
Yeah. That's not as it's not as one-sided as it used to be.
Yeah.
Did you want to score this one?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'd actually like to score that quite high. Probably, I think for like a blend rather than a single malt.
There's a 4 on that. I really like that.
I was going to go 4.
Yeah.
I'd also like to say. Also, I realise we've done a lot of rambling on the first whiskey. I think it's been a while since we drank whiskey, and we're excited to do so. But I'd also like to say that I would really like to try the rich and spicy, but I think you probably wouldn't like to try smoke and peaked.
Well, you say that.
Reinforced the fact that it's smoke.
Yeah, it's the 2 things I hate the most, but I would definitely give it a go. Because there hasn't been a whiskey yet that I haven't given a go.
Oh, absolutely. I
don't think I'd like it.
I did imply you wouldn't enjoy it.
I don't think I'd like it. But yes, I would definitely, based on the back of that one, I would love to try the others.
Yes.
So let's keep this freight train rolling.
From one Edinburgh institution of whiskey to another, apparently.
So yes, this is Edinburgh Whiskey Speyside 7-year-old. So this says Edinburgh Whiskey's Discovery Collection showcases exceptional, it's only been one, examples of Scotland's regional malts from some of its most distinguished distilleries. Here we took into their anonymous Speyside core release. Boasting more than half of Scotland's working distilleries, Speyside whiskies offer a variety of styles, ranging from light and grassy to sumptuously rich, sweet and sherried after-dinner delights. Aged in a selection of refilled bourbon barrels. Bourbon. I was right first time. Here, expect a stripped-back Speyside classic. It's because bourbons are great as well, so every time I see the word, it's in. And I've been saying bourbon a lot longer than I've been saying bourbon.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, bargain.
18+ word.
Used to say bargain.
Did you?
Yeah, as a kid. As my mum will constantly remind me.
Anytime
I ever have a bourbon biscuit, she's like, used to call them bargains.
We all have things that we used to say as kids that are...
It's been like 25 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as it never stops. Okay. So I mean, generally up our alley, Speysiders.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? So they've said it ranges from light and grassy to sumptuously rich, sweet and sherried after dinner delights. What would you say are the 2 distilleries that they are primarily talking about there?
I think I know the 2 you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Glen Grant and Aberlour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would also take
Glenfarclas is
Glenfarclas
sherried.
is sherried, but I think
I mean,
Aberlour.
Macallan only uses sherry butts. I think it might have changed, but yeah, theirs is not as sherried.
Also a reasonable amount of Balvenis, but we're digress. I think Aberlour is the core of that. It's the most fully into that side, I think, and
it is. Yeah, they do. I mean, that one that I've got that we had in Isla.
Yeah.
17 years in the sherry barrel. It's just ridiculous. Okay, what are you getting from this?
Well, nosing. It's
cereal again, but not sweet. It's just very.
it's a bit more alcohol-y.
Yeah, it's just like very kind of dry, like stalks.
Another one of these where I can almost guarantee it's been set to this percentage, but it's 46.3 rather than 46, just to get that little edge.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna put dry stalks of cereal on the nose because that's
like in cereal, but like in like
harvest time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Farming. Right, you want to dive in? I'll tell you what you should be tasting. So tasting note. There is no, again, before people think we've missed stuff off the card, there is no nose note there. There's just a tasting note. It reads fresh barley, vanilla cheesecake, and orchard blossoms.
I get what they mean by the cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yeah, like cheesecake. The mascarpone or whatever soft cheese you use to make it it's obviously a slightly tangy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Edge to it, but
it does have a kind of soft vanilla-ness, doesn't it? Like like a creamy vanilla-ness rather than like it hits you with the vanilla. Maybe that's what you're trying to. Maybe we're just coming at that from two different angles.
Yeah, probably.
It's sweeter than I expected at the start from the smell.
Yeah, it's more vanilla than I really expected, but
yeah,
I was expecting a cereally oaky sort of.
Yeah, when it said barley, and then from the smell.
Especially,
I haven't.
Obviously, people can't see it, but it's a fairly light coloured. Like I would go for.
It's definitely like a barley kind of colour.
Yeah, it's almost like extra virgin olive oil colour. You know how?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Maybe not quite as yellow, actually. I don't know. But usually,
gold.
I know you can't always determine it from the colour, but usually whiskies of this colour have a more cereally.
There is a cerealiness to it.
Yeah, but it's more cereally.
Yeah.
Like, up front.
Apologies if you can hear the clicking from
your new mechanical keyboard.
Aye, yeah. It's not the keyboard; it's my knuckles.
Cracking from the pressure of having
I do so much typing nowadays. Writing emails. That's all it takes. It's a satisfying sound, though.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I really like this one as well.
I didn't like it as much. I think a 3 for me.
Oh, you've gone straight for the score. A 3.
Were you going to discuss further before?
No. I was just having my last sip.
I actually had some more ramblings I wanted to do whilst we were still on the topic of whiskies borderline related to Edinburgh.
Okay. Well, I'm going 3.5.
So I saw that they recently opened the visitor centre at the Leith Distillery.
Ooh.
Now, they haven't got whiskey to drink yet, but they are Scotland and the UK's first vertical distillery.
What does that mean?
The whiskey moves, I think, up through it's a factory type distillery, but they have different levels, and the whiskey moves up as it's done. So they basically each different process is on a different level, and it moves up through the.
Yeah, they do. Tars by the looks of it. I'm just waiting for it to load.
So
yeah, they're opening in October, Tars, and they've got a bar as well.
Yep. So I was going to suggest next time you come up, we could go there, and then there's sort of a speakeasy kind of vibe whiskey bar down Leith as well that we could visit.
Yeah, I always like coming up to Edinburgh. It's a lovely city.
Yeah. So
90
I
minute
mean, not that I'm in
tour.
Edinburgh, but it's a 40-minute train, as you saw. So
Yeah. Yeah, 90-minute tour, £26. Yeah, I'd be definitely up for that. I'm always up for doing more tours, you know me.
yeah, I just think because it's also like I mean, it's. I don't think there's anything truly revolutionary about a vertical distillery, but I do think it's
Well, one thing I'd like to do,
interesting.
if I could like impose it upon you, because I'd
Mm-hmm.
need someone to drive us. But there's only a couple of other distilleries in the Lowlands.
Yeah.
So there's Kingsbarns, and I think there's one other. And I don't think Kingsbarns is that far outside. I can't remember if it's Edinburgh or Glasgow, but I don't think it's far.
It's quite far. It's in Fife, so it's like near St Andrews.
Ah, damn, fair enough.
It's not
Maybe
bad.
one day.
It's like 2 hours from nearly 2 hours of driving from. The problem is you're actually probably quicker coming from Dundee. Not that there's any reason to be in Dundee, but just because you can come over the bridge and then you're at that end of
Right.
Fife.
I mean, I could fly up there, but yeah, I'm just thinking. But yeah. And I might be doing another one soon as well, because I might be going to Norfolk soon, so I could do English one, St George's, the oldest English one.
Fair enough.
And then well, actually, if you're visiting soon, we could wander over to the one in Newport, wander/taxi.
Yeah.
Doesn't make whiskey yet, but it is a distillery.
Worth a look. Are they planning on being a whiskey distillery, or are they just going to stick to gin?
I don't know. Well, they do vodka and gin and a few others, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But they got a bar.
Well, that's always good, isn't it?
So it's not like we go there and then just be like, oh.
Yeah.
So no one knows we get talking to them.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Oh, whiskey," and we'd be like, "Right, well, good luck. Hope you've got fire insurance."
Just be like, you know what this place looks like? It looks like a mill.
Yep.
Just like red rag to a bull, just see your eyes light up.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to move on to?
We can move on. Yeah.
Keeping on actually the theme that we've just established there.
Yeah.
Someone this guy was a lot more sick than whoever your ancestor was.
Yeah. This is animal cruelty for sure.
It's like the guy would be there and all the villagers would be around and be like, God, that's a bit much, mate. And he's like, he just set the mill on fire. And be like, yeah, but come on, mate. You're pushing it a bit here. Come on.
Yeah, that's only like one step away from being a dog. If you haven't worked it out, this is a Wolfburn, batch number 155.
Shout out to Wolfburn Distillery.
Yeah. So Wolfburn Distillery, Wolfburn Distillery's fourth small batch release, is their first whiskey to have been matured in one type of cask and then finished in another. Named for the warehouse, number 1, and cask location, row 55, this liquid was first matured for nearly 5 years in first fill ex-bourbon barrels before a 6-month finish in port hogsheads. Ooh. The port influence adds a depth of sweet flavours and some serious colour to Wolfburn's smooth and rich style. Interesting. So, on the nose, we have nose and notes for this. There is rich, soft heather, notes of warm port wine aromas. Warm port wine, like mulled port wine. Just evaporate off some more of that non-alcohol out of that wine.
We're only like 2 whiskies in, and neither of us can read.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a few good whiskies, so.
Yeah, we're still professionals.
Yeah. Well, end of the month we'll probably have a fair few, so not even the end. Yeah.
There's a lot that I've got lined up. I need to buy one tomorrow, actually. Cooper King's doing its first whiskey release.
Oh, actual whiskey.
Yeah, so I'm on the
do the full gamut.
Yeah, I'm on the hook for getting one of their first whiskey releases, but because I didn't join at top tier, I don't get it from the first cask.
Yeah.
So mine's not until 2024. But because I did join, I get it. Like I get it open before the public, if you get what I mean.
All right, so you'll get it as it's bottled rather than once it's been
Yeah,
released.
but I've got an opportunity. They're releasing it to the public on like the 3rd or the 4th, so I get like 24, 48 hours before they release the first whiskey to the public. So I'm hoping I can get in on Monday and get us a bottle.
Sounds good.
And then, I mean, I'm okay if I don't, because at the English Whiskey Festival, I got a free masterclass because I'm a member of the English Whiskey Society, and my masterclass that I joined was the Cooper King one, where you get to try some of the whiskey.
So you'll get to try it anyway.
Yeah, but I'd quite like to do.
Hold some of it in your cheeks and then come and spit in my face.
Yeah. Yeah, we got told off for doing that last time.
That was
it's
COVID.
almost
COVID's
worth.
gone now. COVID's gone.
If we did end up with a couple of friends at the festival, it's almost worth doing that. yeah, that's just how we. It's like you've never seen wine tasting when they spit it out. It's like that, but more efficient.
If we didn't do this, we'd be smashed.
Yeah, old still so and so. Yeah. Right, what were we doing? What?
We were sniffing this to see if it smelled like heather.
Oh yeah, we'd see if it smelled like warm pine.
Yeah.
It is quite woody, actually.
It has got a wininess to it.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing what they say by heather is what I'm thinking of like green wood.
Yeah, probably. Only time I ever get heather is when you have to buy it off of the people in the street, because if you don't, it's bad luck. Cursed.
Well, I've been doing this with you for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Should have bought the heather.
Right. on the palate.
Yep.
It should be wine aromas, bourbon, caramel, vanilla, hints of ginger, and oak. And then a finish that is long lasting with port wine, caramel, and dried fruit. Also, it's definitely more than 3 years.
It's got those kind of flavors. It's definitely quite winey, vanilla-y. The oak like goes straight through the middle of it for me. So like the sweet, caramelly, winey, vanilla-y stuff goes around the cheeks, but right through the middle is like a beam of oak.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's what it just.
I get what you mean. It feels winey down the middle, but it tastes like wood, like untreated.
Yeah.
Maybe actually pine, but probably.
Yeah, for some reason in my head, that's just the image it conjured up was like this sweet flavors going around the side. Sweet vanilla and caramel from the cheeks. We've already been better at mouthfeel than we have at taste, aren't we?
Yeah. Not really getting the ginger so much, but
I'm not getting much spice.
It has a creaminess in the cheeky bits.
In fact, if I was going to say any kind of spice, I'd probably say like Christian orange. The throwback.
But don't worry, you can jump into this podcast at any time. There's definitely no in jokes.
Yeah, please feel free. The good thing about our podcast is, in a lot of people's shows on YouTube or whatever, like you can't watch the earlier episodes because of the drop in quality from the later ones. Yeah, but ours is just crap all the way through.
So it was sort of a pickup at one point when we started doing segments, but then we discovered that we had real jobs, well, fake jobs to support this real job.
Yeah. Basically, you, the fans, let us down by not being supportive enough.
Yeah,
so
we had
to
keep
continue
working.
with fake jobs.
Yeah.
If you'd have been more supportive,
we'd have given them up by now.
Yeah. So if you want better quality podcasts on whiskey, and you don't want to go elsewhere, then you're gonna have to start like paying more. I don't know how, because we've set up no mechanism by which you to do that, but just like leave some money under a tree somewhere and fire a flare up, and we'll probably be there to recover it.
Yeah. We call it only flans.
Only flans.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it just made me think of the Final Fantasy enemy, the flan.
The what? Flan.
He's a Final Fantasy enemy. Also, I know it's also a food stuff, but did you want to score this one?
I'd like to give that 3.5.
Yeah, I think 3.5 is a good. It's a little bit too much on the woodiness for me.
It's very dry, but not in the tanninsy way that I like. Even though it is from wine, probably, but it's not. Port is different. Not that I dislike port, or I don't dislike port or any of the fortified wines.
Don't
really.
like fortified wines. They're far too sickly.
Oh, actually, have you tried a sherry? Not sherry, a brandy.
No, I haven't actually. To be fair.
It's like a much easier to drink whiskey.
I mean, whiskey's pretty easy to drink at this point.
Yeah, but brandy's like whiskey, but if it was still the same flavour, but only about 20%.
Oh, okay. So it's like for children.
Yeah.
Oh, children's whiskey.
But you get to sit and like swirl it around in a glass.
Oh yeah, you get to. Yeah, I mean, we could hold a whiskey glass like that.
Breaking the metacarpal in between you.
It's like causing people to twitch when they see
you.
Yeah. I shall move us on to our next one, and it's one that I think I've had a bottle of. It's hard to tell because they make a lot, but I have had. So this is a Darkness aged 8 years, which I've had a bottle of, but whether it's the same whiskey, I don't know, because Darkness does a lot of particular distilleries
and different styles, yeah,
finished in different ways. But as it says here, the Darkness range is all about sherry. In their own words, this bottling starts as a powerful Speyside single malt chosen for its boldness and character. After 8 years, the spirit is deemed ready to begin its final transformation. We like their turn of phrase. We do too, Dram team. Here, that wasn't written on the card because that'd be really weird. Here, the transformation consists of no fewer than 6 months of extra maturation in sherry cask octaves, small casks leading to more sherry influence. Yum. And that's the thing that Darkness is known for, is the sherry octaves, which are an eighth the size of a sherry cask or sherry butt. So you get a lot more like wood interaction with the liquid.
Eight times the surface.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite, volumes and that, but
yeah, but significantly increased wood contact for the liquid.
Actually, it's probably more when you actually think about volumes, but we're not getting to geometry.
No, I'm 3 whiskies in. I don't do maths. That's why I'm a manager. I have people who do maths.
You only do maths
people,
before lunch.
Some of them have subscribed, so the good people, and I really like them, and they're the best.
You only do maths before lunch because after lunch you're too drunk. Management.
I do planning before lunch, and I do delegation after lunch.
And firings.
I've never had to fire anyone yet. I don't think I'm allowed.
I've never had to fire anyone, but it's very, very difficult to get fired from.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get fired from where I work as well. Hasn't happened to me yet, so it can't be that easy. So on the nose, candied orange peels, chocolate peanuts, cooking spice warmth, and some dried cherry. What would you call cooking spice? Cooking spice for me is salt.
It's all spices, isn't it?
Yeah, I can feel like all spices used for cooking. Yeah, and what? No one's like, oh, you just got a bit of cardamom that I can.
Yeah.
Have that. Yeah, I don't bother putting it on my food. I just.
You can just get some cayenne.
They just like put it on their palm and blow it in your face, and you're just like, can't see. It's like a mild pepper spray sensation.
I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you ever like fry chilies, then you essentially are just sitting there pepper spraying yourself.
I don't know if I've ever done it, but one of the episodes of Clarkson's Farm, they were doing it to make. I think they were making like a chili jam or something like that, and they were cooking up the chilies, and every single the people he brought in who make the stuff.
Yeah.
As he was like talking to him, doing a bit of a pseudo interview, they're just like they all start coughing, and then they rotate out when someone else comes in and starts coughing, and they're all like by the end of it just like pissing themselves.
Yeah.
Because none of them can talk for more than 3 words before they start coughing.
Tears streaming out the face. Can't.
Yeah. And then obviously you start laughing, which makes it worse.
Yeah. Right. On to the tasting.
Some cooking spices.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually. We just criticised the concept of cooking spices and didn't.
I made a good spice joke recently, actually, to get me out of something.
Yeah.
So, went to the Welsh cake place in Newport Market, and they do a deal where it's like 6 for so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got 6 of one flavour. And the woman behind the stall was like, "Oh, you only want the one flavour kind of thing?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah. Well, they say the variety is the spice of life, and I hate spice." I was like, "That's a pretty good recovery, because I said variety is the spice of life, and then your brain's like, you just fucking said the opposite of what you've just done.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?" But I recovered it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll remember that. I'm going to use that multiple times now.
Yeah, that's now your go-to.
Yeah, that's a good joke. Yeah, it spices up my speech.
Yeah, and mayonnaise is spicy.
Well, yeah, I steal that joke from Bob's Burgers despite never having seen it.
Yeah, well, it's a good show if you ever get around to it. But
if
I
she
haven't
was
seen
spice,
most.
she'd be flour. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yep, that sums me up. I like that.
But
I'm kind of getting orange peels, maybe.
Yeah, I'm getting orange peels. I'm not really getting.
You know what I'm thinking
peanuts.
of? I get mixed fruit for my porridge,
Mm-hmm.
and in that there's like candied. I don't know if it's like apricot or something like that.
It probably is, yeah.
It's making me think of that.
Like the dried fruit bag.
Dried candied fruit, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably it is that. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Actually, now that you said apricot, that's definitely in that.
Let's be
peach
specific.
sort of.
Candied apricot on the nose.
Yeah.
With that good. Should have probably been like more floury for his 50th episode, like that one time we tried to do it.
Oh, when we were talking about it, it evokes memories of a summer meadow.
On August the 9th, not the 10th.
Yeah. That's too late.
Yeah, it's probably like 11:32 a.m., maybe 33 at a push.
Yeah. But the dew has evaporated, but there is still a moistness in the air.
Yeah. A memory of dew.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go in for a taste, and I'll tell you what you should be getting?
Okay.
So you should be getting amaretti biscuits, subtly toasty hints, powerful raisin and prune, just a touch of earthy oak lingers. Finish, slightly oily with a hint of smoke, though chocolatey hints persist. That was a weird response there. You just went.
I was trying to say I'm not really getting any smoke, but I thought I was about to cut you off, so I cut myself off. And yeah.
No, I don't.
It does have a sort of milk chocolate, maybe.
It is chocolatey.
Hints at the end. But I'm going to go for try and get the powerful raisin and prune in my.
See, I don't get smoke, but I almost get like the preambles of smoke, like the first little bits of flavors that then lead into the smoke flavor. Right at the end.
Maybe, yeah.
And also, I want to put preambles of smoke in as tasting.
Yeah. It is very like in that sweet and savoury collide area, but I wouldn't say it was in a salted caramel flavour. Oh. But it has a saltiness and then it has like a sweet cream in it. It's almost like condensed milk and
like condensed milk flavours on this channel.
But with like a saltiness. Maybe it's like the amaretti biscuits and then something salty. Oh, not necessarily salty, but you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like savoury then sweet.
Savoury pastry, sort of. Buttery.
Yeah, like
maybe.
Like a pasty or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
Quite like a pasty.
Like amaretti biscuits dunked in gravy.
Everything's better by being dunked in gravy. So this definitely isn't the one I've had before because it's nowhere near as sherried.
Okay, that's good.
It's not dominated by sherry flavours, this is it?
No.
It's not a sherry bomb. It's sherried. It's definitely sherried. But it's not a sherry bomb.
Definitely. It's not. I'd say it's like sherry bomb adjacent.
Yeah. It's probably one step down from a sherry bomb.
Very strongly flavored, but it's not necessarily.
It's not an Abuna or
no.
Glenfarclas.
It's not the traditional sherry flavors you would get in.
No, it's not like a 105 or an Abuna or something like that. It's like a Casganam. One step down.
Yeah.
Did you want to score that one?
I'm gonna go 4.
4. Okay. I will go 3.5. I think of that one. And that.
I just think I enjoyed that as much as the first one, so I was just.
Yeah, no, I think I enjoyed it as much as the second one, but not the first one. The first one so far has been a favourite. That's just because I'm basic, you know.
To be fair, blended malt probably technically more complex than a single malt.
I think maybe it's because, like, if people can describe it in 2 words, you'd probably use smooth and sweet. So it kind of.
Yeah. Don't know if that's exactly it.
Is that not the 2 words you'd use?
I think I'd be more likely to use the exact antonyms.
Oh, I thought the second word you'd use would be off.
Rough off. That makes sense.
Smooth off. Yeah. So, well, the accent. Wait, I'm just going to revisit that. So, what? Rough and bitter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm struggling to argue against that. To be fair, bitter especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely bitter.
I suppose tight is another option, but
yeah,
I'm also quite tight, so it's hard to.
I mean, you're half and half of the 2 tightest people in the world, so.
Yeah.
Not like 2 tightest peoples. I realise that sounded like I was just insulting your parents then.
Yeah.
I've never even met them. Tightest people in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I was born in Aberdeen as well, which is what they're the ones that get the tightness.
That's the same
in
as
Scotland. So.
Our other Scottish friend, isn't it? Wasn't she from Aberdeen?
Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to date when this is, yesterday we beat Glasgow Rangers for the first time at Ibrox since 1996, so it was a pretty good weekend.
Congratulations! Always good to see Rangers lose.
Yeah. To be fair, actually, when we beat them back then, they were Rangers. It was their Rangers this time because they let their club die. We always have to bring that up in Scotland.
Well, my dad's a Celtic fan, so
yeah, a better half of 2 evils.
It's like it's obviously primarily a Donny Rovers fan.
Yeah. But you had to support some.
I think it might have been his dad's club because his dad's Scottish.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah.
Because that's where I claim, like an American, I claim my Scottish roots.
Probably closer to your Scottish roots in actual like.
I mean, I'm within touching distance. I feel like 2 generations is okay.
I was going to say in chronology, not even like geography, than most Americans. But.
Yeah, I feel like 2 generations is okay. After that, no. Plus, I'm going to live up there one day. I've decided so.
That's good. You could do it sooner. You could just start working on Clyde, and then I'll have someone to go drinking with in Glasgow.
I was looking at one place up in Speyside.
Oh, that's too far.
Slightly out of my budget, but not much. But its garden went down to the river.
Nice.
I was like,
but this is the one.
Yeah.
Doesn't really provide the water, but it provides the power for most of them. But
it was also like about half a mile from Aberlour Distillery.
Oh, walking distance.
Yeah. So I was like.
So you were like, all I need to do is get a job there. Life's made.
Well, I was like, if I could get a job where I am, but that needs me to be at most, like, I'll be in office 1 week a month, and you can pay for the hotel.
Ah, I see. So you want to be a consultant?
Yeah. That's what I'm aiming for. Next like 5 years.
Fair.
100% want to move up there if I can.
I'd welcome it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be welcome to stay as much as you wanted, obviously.
So I'll just drive up every weekend.
Well, yeah, your wife at that point might complain about that. But
She might actually want me out of the house.
yeah, fair. Yeah, I can't say I blame her.
All right.
Do you want to move us on to the next one?
I can move on to the next one.
You can do the Gaelic fluently, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I would guess that this is pronounced Glenmore Spirits.
That's what I'd say, but I'm an Englishman, so come on. Can you not do
Okay,
better?
Glenmore.
Oh,
Spirits.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a bit of the brogue in there.
I said there's a woman who does the evening news in Scotland, and her R's are rolled every single time. And
I used to get told off in French because I couldn't roll my R's.
Yeah.
You know me. I
I
can't
think
do any kind of accent.
I think one of our co-presenters is called Robert, and it's funny just hearing her say it. But
I can't do any kind of accent. I can only do one impersonation. That's someone that we know, whose party we now not going to.
Oh yeah, that's very good as well. You wouldn't
Flawless, yeah. If we ever get to the point where you use like voice ID to get into your bank account, I'm made.
Yeah, you're having all of our money.
Yeah, which is probably a lot. So please, well, no, she's not going to listen to this, so it's all good.
She might subscribe.
Have you seen that Key and Peele sketch where the rapper confesses to the murder?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
and
that.
then he's like still confessing to it when he walks out the room. The guy's like, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah. all right, I give up. On the tape.
Yeah. Anyway, This is a Bunnahabhain, aged 8 years, and it says in the card, unusually for an Islay whiskey, Bunnahabhain's signature spirit style is unpeated.
We know that. We've been there.
Yeah, that makes this peated independent bottling by Glenmore an interesting and tasty foray away from the distillery's own releases, which is why we love indie bottlers. Young, peaty Bunnahabhain tends to exhibit a pleasant oiliness and soft smoke. Enjoy exploring. I feel like that was just given for you. So
you enjoyed saying that. Enjoy exploring far too much, by the way.
Yeah. Soft. Did you also like how I really bigged up the spirit style to then?
You'd read that card, hadn't you?
Yeah.
I hadn't.
It was a roller coaster. On the nose, it says soft, gentle peat, hints of warming spices with some fruit and smoke on the nose.
You give that a sniff and tell me if that's soft peat.
That's quite strong peat. Yeah. That's very smoky. It's a nice kind of peat, though, on the nose.
It's not unpleasant to smell. There's something else under it, though.
Yeah. My nose is a bit burned out. I'm going to sniff my hand for a minute.
It's almost...
See, that I would say was heathery underneath.
I think it's like a campfire peat because I can tolerate it. It's almost like, maybe it is a heavy peat because it's almost like TCP underneath. That's what I'm thinking.
A little bit. It does have a little bit of that.
Medicinal peat.
If you swill it and give it a good, like, invigorating.
I think that's more, medicinal heavy peat. It's definitely got that TCP-ness underneath it.
A lot of legs. But quick legs. Anyway, into the palate. It should be wonderfully smooth with sweet fruits, dates, candied pecans, cracked black pepper in the mouth, and with a finish that is a long, warm, peppery, sweet smoke finish.
That's not as bad as it smells. It is. Black pepper is a good shout. It's quite nutty. The peat comes through at the end, and it is a peppery finish, but it's actually pretty pleasant on the palate.
The peat's that stuff that comes out as like smoky bacon crisps.
And it actually complements the flavors of the whiskey.
Yeah,
It
because
doesn't
it's
just
peppery.
overrule them all.
It's like, right, I'm going to be very crisp heavy here, but it's sea salt and cracked black pepper crisps.
Yeah.
There's two people make them. One is much cheaper than the other. Well, I think it's Highlander, which I said was like the.
Pretty sure M&S makes them as well. And Kettle.
So Kettle is the more expensive option, which is the ones that I'm thinking of. Like it's like a proper like salt and pepper crisp.
Yeah.
Then into smoky bacon, but like a straight up Walker's smoky bacon crisp, like. But the flavors of both of those are complementary because smoked meat flavors go very well with salt and pepper, as meat goes very well with salt and pepper. To the extent that when I make a steak, I like to just season it with salt and pepper and then cook it.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
If I'm feeling fancy, I'll bring out the Schwartz garlic pepper.
Oh, I ain't tried garlic pepper on a steak. Is it good?
That's pretty good. That's like a Valentine's Day job, though.
What is it that they do? Every time I've been like into a Argentinian restaurant, they do something. They do like garlic butter on.
Yeah, they've got like a chimichurri garlic butter rub.
That one that I went to in Edinburgh that I told you about, that steak place.
Yeah.
Last time I was up there, that was really good.
Is that the one that was near where your hotel was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lost something or other, I think it was.
I had that. I had the. It was
Los
like
Ranchos?
yes, it was like a surf and turf because I had a steak and calamari.
Oh,
And I
nice.
was expecting like a couple of calamari rings. It was almost like the whole squid.
Yeah, that's a top tier.
Really good.
There's like 3 types of surf and turf, and they're all good. But I think, right, and as much as it's the most expensive type, I think when you get lobster, it's the worst kind. Because calamari and scampi are both top tier foods, and they're a side.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of calamari.
If you have a steak, you can have those as a side. If you have a steak and then you have a lobster tail on the side, you're like, which of these is my main?
See, it's weird because I had lobster one time when I was like, I don't know, 16 or whatever, at a pub with my dad, and it was amazing. And ever since I've had it since, it's been all right, but I prefer crab.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like fancy crab. So
yeah. And you know what I prefer to both of those? Crayfish.
Oh, crayfish are the same vibe.
Crayfish are amazing. Crayfish tails.
So I don't know. Langoustines is like a big thing in like the north of Scotland.
Langoustines are just big shrimp, aren't they? I thought.
Sort of, but they're like when they're big, they're like their flesh is still in the tail, so you have to break them open like the.
Yeah.
You have to use a thing like a nutcracker, like it's lobster.
Right. Yeah, like a claw cracker.
And it says it is in fact. I've googled it. It is in fact a member of the lobster family.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I like lobster. I'm not a huge fan of fish, but I do like seafood. Yeah, and yet, the best meal I've ever had in my life is still that seafood mezes I had in Cyprus. But that was partly because I was sat like 30 feet away from the Mediterranean. Just
it's always good down there. You can't. It's hard to get a bad. It's hard to have a bad meal when you can look out onto antiquity.
Yeah. No clouds in the sky. Sat with a friend. Couple of beers in.
Yeah. Few mythos.
The second best restaurant meal I've had is that at Seven Stills.
Yeah.
That venison lasagna was just like mind-blowingly good.
I've had some quite good stuff, but I think I discovered I quite like mussels.
Mm.
Which I don't know.
Mussels are great.
Yeah. My dad's like violently allergic to them. They're his favourite food. My dad really, really, really loves mussels, but if he eats them, or even if his food's touched them, he'll be violently sick. So
that's a shame.
Yeah. Once he was on holiday with my mum in Greece. I think it might be in Italy. But they kept like they're basically right outside their hotel door. There was a seafood restaurant where it specialised in mussels. And on like the second last day, he says, "My mum, he says you might want to go and eat on your own because I'm going to eat the mussels
and be sick.
I'm going to be very sick." So, and my mum also My mum is like almost phobic of sick, so like
Oh right, okay, perfect combination.
yeah. So he was like, just you go away, do what you want to do. I'm going to go and do this. I'll feel terrible for a day, and then we can have our last day, and it'll be fine. He says,
Fair.
I don't want to do it on the last day because I might not make the point.
I respect that.
Yeah, but it was just like he was like, I've smelled these every single day.
Yeah, the temptation is too much.
We're in the perfect place. The food is straight. I can see where the like the
I
harbour.
can go
where
there, eat them, come
Yeah.
back to the hotel.
Yeah, have a bad time, and then I'll be fine by tomorrow. It's like a weird thing where his body just actually. It's not like an anaphylaxis, but his stomach just says
Rejection.
no, and then evacuates.
Yeah,
and then he's fine after like a few hours, because like. But yeah.
Yeah, it's all gone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm being lucky that I haven't had a food allergy yet, but they can develop, can't they?
Yeah, I mean, most people's gluten,
Lactose intolerance
lactose.
develops.
What's the other one that's big? Most people get over an egg.
Yeah.
Allergy, because most people are allergic to eggs as babies and get over it.
Yeah. I mean, I just like food, to be honest. There's not many foods I'm not a big fan of.
There's things that I mostly it's textures for me. Like there's not many.
Marzipan, I don't like.
Yeah, I don't really like.
Screw you, marzipan.
I don't really like almond flavored things, which is weird because I quite like cherry flavored things, and they mostly use the same thing.
I'm the opposite, so I like almond flavored things, but I don't like cherry flavored things.
But I like almonds. But
I like almonds, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I like cashews in things, but not on their own. But yeah, if you next time you come to visit Newport, we'll take you to some of the better places we've got.
Back to 7 Lucky Buddhas or whatever. 7 Lucky Gods.
7 Lucky Gods in Newport Market, yeah. Hopefully by then me and Andy will have tested a couple of others, but I'd like to that Italian just around the corner from me.
Yeah, we don't have to go to 7 Lucky Gods, by the way. It's just that now that I know that one exists there, I'm like, cool.
It was very good, wasn't it? But part of me thinks it was also just like a really good evening.
Yeah, I don't want to taint it, but I'm like,
because we went to that whiskey bar, had a great time there.
Yeah.
Went round to that place.
Acted like we were hip.
Yeah, it's the coolest I've ever been in my life. No, that's not true. That's not true. I went to. I don't know if we've mentioned a name, but I'll try and do less names, I think. Yeah. But our London friend.
Yeah.
She had a party at a cocktail bar one time. I had a lot of old fashions there. I felt very cool.
Yeah. You're like, I am. What's his name from Mad Men?
What?
The guy from Mad Men. He drinks loads of like cocktails because it's the 50s or 60s.
Or Don Draper.
Yeah. I mean, he's not particularly cool if you're like a progressive man, but
well, yeah, I am very progressive. Because progressive generally just means decent.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you're listening to this, which is like 35, 36 people, and you use like woke as an insult unironically, please leave.
Yeah, like people who use woke as an insult unironically assume that everything that's moderately progressive is woke. Now there is the forefront. What woke should refer to is people who are like super on the forefront of progressiveness, which is
there's
usually 9 times out of 10 have proven to be correct. You know,
there's plenty of things to mock, like the people who take offence for other cultures or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah, those are.
But that's not what it refers to. What it refers to is just. You don't think that like the status quo from 60 years ago is perfect.
Yeah. Well, you don't think we should revert?
Yeah. Let's go backwards.
Yeah.
Did you want to score this one, by the way?
Yeah, I was going to give it a 3.
A 3. Yeah, I'll go 3.
Oh, that's strong from you.
Yeah, it was like I say, it was normally my problem with Pete is that it
takes away.
I always think that the whiskey would be better without it. Like it doesn't add anything. But to be fair, I legitimately think that one. It
was sort of well coupled.
Yeah, like it wouldn't have been better without it.
Yeah, I am now filling my Glencairn with water to wash it out.
Yes, I will do the same. Like right to the brim, so you can barely hold it.
Yeah, then going.
The stupid thing is, I still use one Glencairn for every whiskey in this one. I've got like 55 Glencairns in this house.
I know. And also like 5 tulips and 3 mini Glencairns and
I've got a lot of glassware in this house. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who tune in, every time we visit a distillery, I
and
get
I've
a
got about
glass.
4 or 5 crystal cut whiskey glasses, like spirit glasses.
Yeah, I also have those whiskey glasses that another friend bought me. Very
Oh yeah,
kindly.
the ones that you can't sit down.
Yeah.
You can, but they're designed to like keep the whiskey in motion, so they like.
Yeah. So you
Not
ready
that
for
we ever leave the whiskey in them long enough for it to matter. But
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do when you visit, by the way, I have one that I bought. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's a little bit special.
Oh.
I spent quite a bit of money on it. That we're gonna try, and we're gonna do that like 7-point plan.
Oh right, the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm into it.
We'll do that. Andy's got one. I said I wasn't going to do names. Andy / Fred / James.
Yeah.
They're all fake names.
Andy's a pretty common name.
It is. It is a pretty common name. He's got one from that he won. He got on an auction from a now defunct distillery.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. We took some people to Isla, and now they're all whiskey fanatics.
It is peated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did say that his introduction to whiskey was his granddad's whiskey chest, and they were all peated because his granddad was an Isla head, basically. So
it did work. And if some people weren't selfish and decided to get married next year, we'd have done another one next year. But oh no.
I was doing the year after.
Got to try and work out Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
Right. So 6th Dram. 6th Dram is. I'm going to need you to cut in at a certain point in this card. By the way, can you see where? Can you cut in at the beginning of the line too?
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, cool. So this is a rare find, Aberfeldy, aged 17 years. The card reads, a premium range from cracking indie.
Glenmore Spirit.
Yeah, there you go. No one will notice. I'll just edit out my bit. Their rare find label celebrates the rich heritage of Scotland. I don't know why I laboured over label there, by the way. Celebrates the rich heritage of Scotland's distilleries with some rather limited editions. In this case, just 185 bottles. That is a limited edition. Drawn from a single bourbon hogshead and bottled at cask strength, this is a whopping demonstration of Aberfeldy's signature rich, honeyed and fruity spirit. A rare find and a rare treat. Enjoy. You will, Chris. Thank you very much.
Again, weird that they wrote that down there.
Yeah, his name is Chris Dram Team.
He also sometimes goes by Woodhouse.
Yeah, Chris Woodhouse Dram Team. That's his middle name. It's almost like he was born to do this.
I think it's pronounced Dram Team.
Yeah. It's Italian name.
Like Mr. Teatame from what's his name? Who's this fantasy writer?
What?
Who's the fantasy writer who got Alzheimer's?
Oh, Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, so he has a character called Mr. Tea Time, but he always says it's pronounced Teatame.
Teatame. It's like Hyacinth Bouquet.
Yeah.
Definitely a British podcast at that point.
Yeah.
It's one of those honey, boiled sweets, and orange zest.
Definitely getting orange zest.
Definitely orange zest, yeah.
There's a sweetness there that could be boiled sweets. More like
barley sugars.
Or like maybe those travel lozenges you get.
Yeah.
Are for like you're supposed to suck them as you take off on the plane.
I always use barley sugars for.
Yeah.
Stop your ears popping.
For a while, when I was working down in Bristol, I got a flight so often that my ears no longer popped for that flight because it wasn't going up high enough.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to the point where we're visiting enough distilleries that mine do the same.
Yeah.
It
It was about once every 3 weeks you had to take 2 flights, so it's pretty.
Well, I mean, I'm up for that. It's just if you're,
Once this becomes our job and we can just hop
Once I'm
from
living in Speyside.
Paul John to
Yeah, once I'm living in Speyside.
Okay.
Right. Do you want to dive in?
Oh.
On the palate, which this is not a good tasting note, but okay. Soft custard creams. It's okay if it's like dipped in tea for it to be a soft custard cream. Poached pears and caramel. The finish long with candied oranges, manuka honey, and mellow oats.
This is one of those ones where the finish like blooms.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Mm. Yes. Okay, yeah. That's still going up. It's almost like it should be drilling into my brain. It's gone that far up the palate.
Yeah. It feels like you can still chew on it.
Arguably it is because, alcohol content.
Yeah.
Effect on brain function.
I really want to try manuka honey, but I also don't feel like it can be worth as much or more than it costs than normal honey.
What we should do one time is like work out the most common tasting notes on our cards and just go out and buy them and do like a picnic where it's just like stuff we like. So we've still got food to eat, but then also a bunch of stuff that's on these tasting cards.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog just poked his head in the room.
How's he doing? How's Bear?
He's fine. Yeah, he's okay. He's been a bit out of sorts because we keep having really busy weekends and he's not sure his routine gets disrupted. But hitting the winter months now, so the routine will come back in and he'll just spend every evening getting raging that the foxes are out. So he really, really, really hates foxes.
I don't know if does he hate foxes or me more. That's the question.
Definitely foxes.
Yeah, good. Fair.
I
feel like if I just don't see him quite enough to build a rapport.
Yeah, nah. He's getting better at being around just people in general, but he's a bit.
I think I've always taken the same stance that it's my fault. I'm the one invading his space.
He's just not great at. He's not great at people.
I'm not great at dogs.
He's much better at dogs.
Yeah, I'm not great at dogs because most people grew up with one at some point in the family, and I didn't. So then it's just like I don't know how to act.
Yeah.
But Bear's great. I'm a big fan of Bear.
He's left now. He just came in to make sure I was alive, I think. Yeah. As if he couldn't hear me.
Well, yeah. I can hear you without the headphones. Sorry, that was a nasty comment. I don't know why I made that.
It's mostly true.
Yeah, we're both as bad as each other, I think.
Historically referred to as loud. So.
Ironically, so am I, and I can't shout indoors.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do any tasting notes on that one?
I've got enough to have maybe 2 more sips. I think the main thing I was noticing was that the way it presented is it seems like quite warm, and then it like when you swallow it, it like comes back through like as a tidal wave of flavor from.
I feel like it's like salt caramel while you're holding it, but then it goes like full sweet when you let it go, but not like high sweet like sugar, like almost like a heavy sweetness.
Yeah, I could see that, like a floral sort of.
Yeah.
Perfumey.
Perfumies, yeah.
I think that's what Manuka honey is like, though. I think it's a much more floral honey.
I think it is. I'm going to put like Manuka honey. There you go.
Yeah.
50th episode, and we finally start to work out what the hell that means.
Yeah.
It is quite a long finish. I can feel it still between my shoulder blades.
Mm.
So yeah, warm finish. You can just feel it, but it's not like I can't feel it down my back of my neck like you can.
No, it's like in the mouth, like that's what I meant by like it sort of blossoms into your mouth, like
Yeah.
finish it, and then it's like, oh, by the way, here's all the flavors you were supposed to get, like Dragon's Breath.
I should make that chili at some point again.
That the sort of campfire stew kind of Dragon's Breath chili.
It's just because I got that World of Warcraft cookbook.
Yeah.
One of the chilies in that is Dragon's Breath chili because it's all recipes from the game made into real recipes.
Yeah. It's the one that's like, it's more of a soup than a chili, really.
Yeah. I think it uses mince rather than like stew beef or.
I'd say that a good chili it's like a bit of both.
I think it uses a bit of both actually. I think it uses like what's it called? What's the steak called that you use for it? Braising steak.
Braising steak, yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to score this one?
I thought that was quite interesting. I'd probably give that one a 4 as well.
I think a 4 is fair, yeah.
Strong box.
Always strong boxes at the moment.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's why they're down to buy
for
monthly.
Now, but we might be getting to the point soon where the new boxes come out.
Like the fancy ones.
Aye, next year. Not far off.
I would hope that we could I would hope that Chris would be in the market for a 2-tier subscription model.
Well, where we subscribe to both.
Yeah, one where you subscribe to both and one where you just subscribe to the normal.
I'm going to subscribe to both.
Yeah, if it's optional. I think it might be buy one at a time.
Unless it's like the good tier is twice as expensive as the old one, I'm definitely going to just subscribe to both, to be honest.
Yeah, I twice as expensive would be a push, yeah, but
because I mean,
because essentially that would mean you'd be if you're paying that much every month to get a normal box 1 month and a big box the other month, I wouldn't. That would be paying 3 times as much for the other box. But if the other box is twice as much, but it's good,
it depends because like at the moment we're paying half as much, aren't we?
Yeah. So it's obviously going to be more than what we pay right now.
If it was like £10 more per month for that one, and then the old price for the baton box, I'd still do both. I'd just accept I'm paying £5 a month more or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to pay probably up to half.
Yeah,
more.
Well, we'll figure.
What we're on just now? What? How much a month? How much every other month are we doing just now? I don't even take.
£32.50.
Yeah, so I think even if we went to, if it was like £32.50 1 month and like 45-ish,
42.50, 45, yeah.
I could easily consider that to be. I mean, considering how inflation has been,
yeah,
and the fact that you're getting a premium product on top of that, like,
and some of the whiskies we get. I mean, that one was like one of 185.
Yeah.
Bottles, was it? Yeah. 185 bottles, and we get to taste some of it. Pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Anyway, sorry if this one's been a little bit longer even than our usual, but we're a little bit out of practice. We might get another one recorded soon because we do have another box coming in, depending on his lives. But and I also acknowledge that at this point, I don't know which one has been uploaded, but there has been a gap. There will be another upload soon. But by the time you listen to this, that will have been like 6 months in the past. So I don't know why I'm saying it. But anyway, apologies for 6 months ago. And
it's fine.
Since then, we've got into a regular upload schedule again.
We'll work it out properly at some point.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
But as always, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
Yep. Thank you. Cheerio.
See you later.
Bye.